it didn't align. One, I just got married, and my wife, her whole thing is she needs me there, like, and I'm this, national face. I'm traveling, and it didn't align with us. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna pursue entrepreneurship. I want to get into real estate. I'm just gonna do it. And one of the things I have, it's like a superpower, is delusional self confidence. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all right with not being good at a thing because it's only going to be for a short period of time. Why? Because I'm going to study, I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to continuously get better. So I'm only going to be a rookie or a scrub at this thing for a short period of time. And a lot of times we say we have a big title and we're a big position. You don't want to start over because now you got to be the, we, in the military, we call it the freaking new guy. But I'm gonna encourage you, be bold, live your dream, do it, just back you. It's anything you want to do, you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't got nobody else to blame. So I did that. Delusional self-confidence, dove in, studied the craft, got into real estate, and then made it my thing. Now I could be home doing my husband stuff. And then we went into we had kids, and that allowed me to be a stay-at-home dad, all the things. But it's that leap of faith. Faith, viewers and listeners, it's seeing the invisible and believing the impossible.
Yeah.
And even more than that, don't worry about your friends and family subscribing to your vision. They can't see it. A lot of times, they may have thought of doing things, failed at it, and now projecting that on you. Don't let them do it. Just do your thing. If you have a small cohort of people that you can lean into, that's all you need. And then put in the work. I always say when I have a new vision, idea, concept, I identify who I need to help me do this, tell them what I need from them, put them to work, then I get to work. And then eventually your dream comes to life.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I like the bit about the people in your circle who push you forward, people who believe in your dream. And that bit about you saying you're the only one who sees the vision, no one else sees it. And it when you're at that point, because I've been there before, when you're at that point, you see a bigger vision. Somebody saying, no, you can't do it.
Right, right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to change your own mentality and stick to what you see and then keep driving the vision. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I got this concept. It's called the 4 C's. When you have a vision or something you want to do, you commit. You get started. But then you got to be committed, not just interested in this thing. You got to commit to it. Then you got to be consistent, and you complete whatever you started. And that's something I bring to anything I start, anything new. Oh yeah.
Wow, beautiful. 3 C's. I like that. Commit, be consistent, and complete.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Your book, Unbreakable Valor, is described as more than a memoir. It's a mindset. What does Unbreakable Valor mean to you personally, and how can someone cultivate it in their own life?
Oh man, unbreakable valor. Triumph through the soul of resilience. Life is gonna beat you up. Life, that's what life's here to do. And a lot of times we don't want to go through the storms. And I tell you, gotta go through the storm in order to get to the other side. Even when you're pursuing goals, objectives, it's not about the goal, it's not about the objective. It's about who you become on the way to it. And on the way, for a lot of us, you have to go through setback. You have to have letdowns, people telling you no. And you got to be so unbreakable and unshakable. And you just got to believe, instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Woe is me. That's the victim mindset, blaming and complaining. You got to take that painful thing and you got to say, you know what am I supposed to learn from this situation? You got to extract the lesson. And when you have a mindset like that, because everything happens for a reason, and you got to figure out what's the reason? Why am I doing this? What am I supposed to learn from this? And then you apply it and go forward. Unbreakable Valor, man, it's leaning to a lot of things. I have one chapter being anchored in faith, the 5M formula to success. It's about mindset, motivation, money management, and massive movement. And I always talk to people about, like your cell phone. We all have these apps, but your apps don't work without the operating system, iOS or Android. Well, you need an operating system for your life. And when you tap into the book, that's the 5M formula for success. I unpack each M, and then you could kind of add that and adopt a way of life, and that's how you maneuver through. But yeah, I'll tell a story because a lot of this is relevant for viewers and listeners. I have about two books I'm working on my drives now, and I gave a talk in Pennsylvania, and this guy he brought me out, Ron James, taught high school. It was crazy. It was really good. We go to lunch after. He said, "Murph, where's your book? Your book is your business card." And I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yes. This is how people find you. This is how you get booked. This is how you have impact." And from that day, I didn't stop until I got my book published. And we got the book published. We dropped it in May. Proud to say we just got the Global Book Award 2 days ago. So people come into your life for reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
went from that idea to the seed I had already planted. I had to start watering it. And now we're seeing fruits of our labor. So tap into Unbreakable Valor. This is what it looks like. Triumph through a soul of resilience, and let me know what y'all think.
Wow, you dropped a lot of gems in there as you were talking, and I believe that anybody who watches it, if they're looking for some gem, they should be able to pick it up. And one of them is turning your pain into purpose, like whatever
Mm,
you're going through. I think I've said it so many times on this platform that whatever experience you're going through or whatever you're being faced with currently in your life, just see it as a stepping stone, as a lesson. It depends on how you look at it, and
yes.
then yeah, you'll be able to make something out of it. And I'm not saying rock bottom is the best place to be,
Mm.
but it's the best place to be.
Yeah, I got Les Brown would say, you hit the bottom, just get on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And I
Yeah,
always like that because we like rock bottom. Well, it can't get no worse. So let's
yeah,
make the change. And this is the thing, man. Life's about choices. A lot of us we sit and we say we want to change, we want to do this, want to do that. But you gotta really decide because it's gonna be a journey, it's gonna be hard, and it's gonna take time. And one of my famous quotes that I love is nothing changes if nothing changes.
yeah.
And it starts with you committing to deciding it's time to change. But yeah, man, rock bottom, just pop up.
Wow, nothing changes if nothing changes. I like that.
Yeah.
From Brooklyn to the battlefield to the classroom, you've reinvented yourself multiple times. How do you approach reinvention without fear of failure?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I read this book recent, Go for No, and it talks about embracing failure. There's 5 levels of failure. There's the ability to fail, which we all have. There's the willingness to fail, the wantingness to fail. Then you want to fail fast and big. And lastly, you want to fail exponentially. So I'm one of those guys that I'm all right with failure. And this is the thing, you just can't care what people think about you. You know what I mean? Because it stops you. It has like this cap. When it's all said and done, they going I already planned my funeral out. And one of the things I said they're gonna play, he did it his way. Frank Sinatra, Murph did it his way. Like without a doubt, because fear cripples us. It keeps us
Yeah,
like just on a treadmill going nowhere fast. And I've always just say, we are architects of our life. We are painters. Every day is a blank canvas. Draw with the life you want. Start to build it. And it's so much work, y'all, because I can say this and you can see things clips on YouTube and stuff. But it's like the intentionality, the affirmations, the aphorisms, the writing it down, the saying, the repeating the words, the meditation, the sitting still, allowing the universe to talk to you. It's a lot of things. This is a quick clip you get in a high level, but it's so much work. And we see the highlight reels, all our influences. But I'm here to tell you, I've gone to the bottom and started over a lot. But because I know that after time and being consistent and being a lifelong learner, I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve. I'm a dude that had back surgery, couldn't walk. All right, take 2, 3 years, I'm back at it. Shoulder surgery, I'm down. 2 years, back at it. So I've lived a life of bouncing back. And I'm sure you all have too. You look at it maybe as a limitation, but I see it as growth. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I get like an opportunity. I'm down for a year. I get opportunity to sit still and read and commit to getting better every day. So I'm gonna encourage you. Don't look at your setback as a negative thing. The universe is giving you a chance to grow. You have to see that opportunity.
Wow. I see a lot of passion. No, I hear a lot of passion in your voice. I'll come back to you because I'm streaming live on YouTube and on TikTok. So I just want to tell my TikTok audience, if you want to see Shaun live, jump onto YouTube and you'll be able to see him live. Just because here on TikTok you're only seeing me, so you can enjoy the conversation better and you can drop your comments in the comment section. I hear a lot of passion in your voice, and it tells me somebody who's really experienced life. They
Mm,
talk with passion, they know what they're talking about. And I get that from you. And I'm not surprised you're called Mr. Motivation because that is in your voice. I hear it. And I always say it only takes people who've been through the ropes who
mm,
can motivate people. They know what they're talking about if they've been able to do it. So you're the best person to be listening to at this time of the
yeah,
year when we need
yeah,
a lot of motivation because you've been there, you've done it all. So
yeah.
when you're telling us, do it, you know that definitely there's going to be results because you've done it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's funny. I just started the semester. I tell y'all, backstory. College dropout. When I left Brooklyn, I went to SUNY Binghamton and got under the from underneath the thumb of my mom's Caribbean parent, and I was outside. I had a ball. I had about 2 years, 7 credits, and a lot of student debt. And I fast forward. Now I've taught in middle school, all boys middle school. I've taught in high school. I now teach on the collegiate level, of course, on how to be successful in college. And when I start the semester, I always say this, even when I give talks, everything I say may not be for you, but it only takes one thing to change everything.
Yeah.
So if you tapping in, listeners and viewers, you just never know when that one thing, and it might not be the season for it right now, but you may listen to this and listen to Sheila and years to come, and that thing clicks for you. So yeah, let's keep tapping in.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. Music is such a powerful connector, and you've pioneered motivation music. How do you see music transforming mindsets in ways that traditional motivational talks can't?
Woo! Let me tell you, music hits different. Let me tell you, so a few things. I'm a speaker, yes. That's what I started out as, and I was a motivator, inspire people. I want to do this on a global scale, and then I was like, there's a lot of speakers. How can I be unique?
Yeah.
And Adam Won't Lose. I listened to him on Tidal, Spotify, and he was like, what did he say? Dear hard work, I used to hate you. You made me better. And I would listen to this over and over. And one day I said to myself, I could do this. Um, and he's talking over like a beat. And I said, this is pretty cool. So fast forward, I do an album, mostly motivational talking, beats, flutes, and I did one like hip hop rap joint, and I really like that. Now, listen to it. I had zero music background, but press and play on Spotify. Uh, but I like that, and if I would have asked anybody that knows me, I'm thinking about this music thing. Kick rocks. What are you talking about? I'm sure no one would have seen this. Again, remember your vision. So I subscribed to my vision, and I said two things. One, using music. So backstory: I'm a special ed teacher, so I know people learn different. They
Yeah.
receive information different. So if I'm now speaking poetry and music, I'm tapping into different types of people, different audiences, in with each bucket. I told my kids, you don't gotta be smart or talented to be successful. Focus and effort. And daddy's about to do this music thing. I'm gonna figure it out, and it's gonna take time. And I wanted them to see this is from scratch.
Yeah.
Fast forward now, probably year 5. I think as a matter of fact, 2 years ago. My daughter comes up to me after this show, 20 minute set, all music. She said, Daddy, I can't believe like you said you was gonna do this and you're doing it.
Yeah.
Miss Sheila, you can't tell them they can't do anything, right? Because they see me
Seen
do
it.
it. And I'll tell you this, it was a scary thing, right? I mean, I couldn't string together 2 lines. I'm in the basement looking crazy in front of my creative director, but that's okay, y'all. It takes time. I was committed. I got a voice coach. I did all the things. What do the greats do? I'm doing it. You could do it too. It don't necessarily cost something because once people hear your why for doing a thing, they want to be part of that. They
Yeah.
want to be part of the story. I could tell you about my creative director, Josh B, Sir Dominic Jordan, Terry and Mack. These are people that helped me in the beginning. And now I'm on another level. I don't need to be, in big, Beyonce and all them. I know that when I go to a show, I'm gonna give you a talk, like the presentation when I do why, and it's like poetry with the beat, like it hits different. It taps into a different part of the mind. And then you remember that. You know what I'm saying? It's so important. Even look at the kids. My kids, periodic table. I found a thing, a YouTube clip that's music. And my daughter, she's 8. She's been to the periodic table because she used music. So I said, there's something about music that's special. And that's why I leaned in. And now I'm about this motivation music.
Wow. Well, I are you the only person doing it? Are there a few people out there doing motivation music? Because it's the first time I'm hearing it, but it sounds like it's something that would be very impactful.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a small lane. I remember when I started, the one guy I met, he was a producer. He said the bad thing is it's not really many people doing it. The good thing is there's not many people doing it. So I have about 10 people I know I follow that
Mm,
have that component. Now I don't know if there are many speakers and music that does it together. I don't know
mhm.
about that. So yeah,
Okay.
small lane.
Wow, beautiful. You received recognition from Michelle Obama and appeared on CBS Evening News. In
Yep.
those moments of visibility, what did you hope people saw in your story?
I'll tell you this. So I was teaching middle school on my boys too. I was teaching 7th grade that year, and the opportunity. So backstory: Teach for America, low income community. The anxious to go in and teach in those settings for 2 years, and I had told them, we should be recruiting veterans to come to the classroom and do this work. After that 3rd year, I got a call about the role, and I said, "Oh, absolutely." And my scout was like, "Mr. Murphy, you leaving us?" I said, "Listen, I'm going to find more people like me to come in the classroom and impact guys like you." And the year goes by, and we launched the initiative, and it got traction. And fast forward, I get invited to the White House. And for me, it was about representing my boys. So
Yeah.
that I'm no superstar, no big time musician. This is their teacher on the biggest stage in the White House, getting this recognition on behalf of them. Like that's what I was thinking. Like, yo, shout out to my boys. I know they tuned in. I was super excited. And I'll share this with the listeners and viewers. I always say, anytime you're going somewhere, you got to prepare, right? So I knew I was going to either meet President Barack Obama, the Vice President Michelle Obama, or Jill Biden. And I prepared 3 things I was going to say. Like sometimes when the lights go on, you kind of get, so you
Mm.
got to practice for the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get in there, I met Miss Michelle Obama, super cool. But then after the talk, because the vice president at the time, Mr. Biden, is from Delaware, so she drew the connection.
Mm.
So they were leaving. He stops, comes back, comes up to me, and I was already ready for what I was going to say to him. And I'm just sharing that with you all because when you get on these stages and these places, just prepare for it. Remember, I tell people anytime, any room you walk in, it got better because you got there. And
Yeah.
that's the energy you got to bring.
Wow. That's beautiful. There's a lot of good things you said here that I'm taking a lot away with me, and I believe everybody who watches it will take more with them. As a father who grew up without one,
Mm.
how do you intentionally break generational cycles in your home? And what advice do you give to parents listening who want to do the same?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I used to use it as a crutch because I didn't know my dad. I was born, he left. And then at age 6, I learned he got murdered. And I use it as a crutch sometime, but at the end of the day, I was like, wow, here's an opportunity. Because my mom was a rock solid person and the
Yeah.
parent. And I was scared to go into parenthood. Like my wifey, she big family, and
Yeah.
she wanted 3 kids. I'm like, wow, I need my backpack, my BlackBerry. We just travel, but it was fear. that was grounded in that, like, because I didn't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
And you know what, team? I said to myself, I just dreamt what I wish I had,
Yeah.
and I became that and 10x'd it. I'll tell you my approach. I said, you know what? By age 18, what human being I want to stand in front of me? Multiple languages, physically fit, mentally tough, able to communicate, articulate themselves well, um, financially sound.
Yeah.
Said, all right, if this is what I want at 18, let's reverse engineer it and we're going to start in the womb. You talking about reading to the belly, affirmations, aphorisms. When my daughter and them came out, she was talking at, I think, 2.5. By age 4, I had her studying SAT words. Best advice I ever got from my guy, Dozer. He said, Murph, throw everything at them, zero limitations. I
Yeah.
used to have my kids training the stairs at the college. We doing stairs running drills, all the things, because you want to get them prepared. I always say my job in their life is to protect their potential. You know what I'm saying? I got to get them to where they need to be and build it all out. So parents, I mean, my father, shouts out to y'all. Lean in, ask for help, study people listen to the elders, and just take it all in, and then make it all yours. I'm super extra. Actually, that's another book I want to work on too, just the fatherhood book, because it's special. When they spitting back out things that you've taught them, their
Yeah.
emotional intelligence is high. You normalize reading, and then you model everything that you want them to do. You do it with them, so that it's not do as I say. It's like, no, we're gonna do this thing. So yeah.
Well, it's heartwarming to hear the way you talk about fatherhood with ease. And I think I'd read somewhere that your children are what you are because they're looking at you,
Mm,
and you've done it beautifully. Like
yeah.
you've given them what you didn't get,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that is amazing. As it's become rampant in stories that I hear that most fathers are not present in the
Mm,
home. I
mm,
was having a conversation with my children today, and we're talking about. We had said that a friend of theirs have lost their dad, and we
mm,
just having a conversation around it. And I said some children have their dads alive but dead.
mm.
And my little girl asked me, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Yes, because their parents are not present in their lives.
Mhm.
But you're talking about reading to them even in the womb before they come out, and that's amazing. It's like I put it, you are being intentional about it."
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that is the only way we can get it right. And another point that hit home was, as we train the children very well, you give
Mhm.
them the kind of parental training they need, then they become better adults. Then we
Mm.
are sure of a better generation and a better future. Otherwise, we will be, I don't want to use the word churning out, but we'll be having a lot of children who are misplaced
Check.
because they did not get the kind of training to become better adults. And this is what we as parents are missing. We are
Mm.
too busy with work because obviously there are bills to be paid, but where do we draw the line and
Mhm.
say, this time is for me and my child?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
give them something beautiful. And I'm excited you're doing it as a mom, as a father.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because most women are now having to step in that position as well.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
anytime I hear a man own up and say, I'm taking my place, as it gladdens my heart to
Mhm.
hear, oh, there are still a few men out there who
Mhm.
know the position and their place as a father and
Yeah.
who have to be there for their, and I'm glad you're doing it and you're doing it right. We're
Yes.
definitely going to have good leaders
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in the generation to come. So yeah. Thank you. So, through the Breakthrough Bunker, you created spaces where young people turn their struggles into strength. Can you
Mm.
share one story that captures why this work is so vital?
I found that a lot of people, so scholars, my veterans, sometimes they lack clarity. They are unable to communicate. They lack self confidence. So I wanted to create a space with not necessarily formal. You could come in, come as you are, and I always tell people I'm a guide. Even when I teach, I'm not. I want the class as communal. I want you to learn from each other. And it's
Mm.
first creating that space that's safe, sharing my struggles and story and trauma and whatnot, and giving them the space to share. And it's beautiful. I think a lot of times you think about this, your parents, right? Your parents, you have parents, we just talking about parenthood. You have parents that didn't pour into you, that told you wouldn't be this, that, or the third. You have, if they're athletic, I had this conversation the other day. You have coaches that kind of keep you back if they, have some personal thing they're projecting on you. You got teachers, which I talk about. I got bullied when I was young. You got teachers that kind of hold you back and don't push your potential. So throughout your life, you got parents, coaches, teachers that are telling you you won't be this, can't do
Yeah.
that, didn't do this, and you can't be surprised you have self confidence issues or self doubt. So for me to create a space where it's the opposite. I'm pouring into you. No, I see greatness. No, we're gonna unearth this talent. What do you mean? You're a great orator. Huh? Let's work on that. Like I'm pouring into them, giving them examples of my story,
Yeah.
because I can't make this stuff up. People that know me know where I've been and where I'm at now, and they're like, "Wow!" And I mean, yes, and this is what I did. Now you got to do your journey, and I want to really get them to subscribe to being on this journey of self mastery. Every week I'm like, how did I get better this week? What did I read? How many YouTube think talks did I listen to? And I want to normalize that and not necessarily scrolling, but spend an hour listening to a talk about self mastery. And so that's what the space the bunker creates. So anybody, I encourage you, if you stuck in life, if you stalling in that procrastination mode, or if you starting over, tap in. Let's break bread together. I would love to have you join us.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful space you've created over there. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. You know that people, when people are down or they need a place to start or somebody to encourage them, they definitely know there's space for me. They'll listen to me. They'll guide me. They'll hold my hand. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing you're doing over there. Wow. Resilience, identity, and purpose are central themes in your work. For
Mm.
someone listening today who feels stuck or defeated, what's the very first step they can take to rebuild hope?
Mm. Well, it's three things I ask people. Well, it's six, but the three go to I've learned over the years. And it's the self-reflective thing. Actually just did this in my class on Monday. It's who am I? You got to ask yourself, who am I? How do you show up into society? How do you show up to yourself? Then think through, where am I? Because in order to get what you want to go, you want to identify where you're at. Yeah, we're not gonna lean in on the past, but that helped build us to get where are we and where do we need to go. And now you can start deciding, all right, what's the path to get there? And then why am I here? Like, what's your purpose? I got this from shouts out to Tim Simon Sinek, and I do this with people I coach or mentor. I said, text 5 people asking why we friends, and then let them answer that question. So those are 3 things I would suggest you kind of sit with, meditate. Who am I?
Yeah.
Where am I? And why am I here? And from there, now you can start to get a little bit of clarity. And then this is not like a quick answer thing. This is a sit still, put on some therapeutic music, listen to some waves, and think like, who am I? Like, what story am I telling myself? How is that being shown when I meet people? What's people's first impression of me? And then start to build from there.
Hmm. Great. Great. Looking ahead, what is your ultimate vision for your movement through your book, your music, and the Breakthrough Bunker? Where do you see Mr. Motivation 5 years from now?
Yeah, 5 years, girl. Listen, grinding. So it's all grounded in helping people. Like I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve in every capacity. If you look at my life, from educator, recruiting military persons, teaching on collegiate level, coaching, it's all been grounded in helping people, unearthing gifts and talents, and It's not about me. One of my favorite army values, selfless service, putting the welfare of others before my own. I may have taken off the uniform and the boots, but I'm still to the core staff Shaun Murphy, and that's what it's about. Building a movement to help people go next level. My whole vision is to combat scarcity mindset and empower people to build out their best versions and live into that. Like, live your best life. How can I help you be great? So that's the vision for me. Other material things aren't it. It's really building an empire, and ensuring my kids see what that looks like so they can continue on. I tell you what, I be on Zooms. I have my team meetings, and my daughter's not in school. She on the Zoom. I take them to my meetings. I say, sit in the corner, just
Ah.
absorb all the energy. And listen, they're not afraid to raise their hand and, hey, Dad, that's actually a good thing. Can I add a thought? Sure. I want her comfortable at this table, right? Because you've at the table, you're on the menu, and she's gonna be at the table. I need them to know that you got to dominate in this world, and it starts there. So really, for me, it's just that legacy piece, just building out the Murphy name.
Wow, that's beautiful. Taking your children to places. I think I'd watched a motivational speaker speak once very recently, and she said, take your children to the places you go. So
Yes.
if you're a minister or if you're a motivational speaker, just like you said, let them sit and watch you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're singing, if you're a singer, whatever song you sing,
Yeah.
put them on the stage. So as
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
listening to you, that was reflecting at the back of my mind. And I
Yeah.
do that naturally. I do that because I have two children. They go with me they're always with me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And when
Mm-hmm.
I'm called for a meeting and is a half-term break or they're on holiday, I'll tell you, I'm coming with my children. Is that all right? Do say yes. So everywhere you see me, you see my children. And
Listen.
I hate to leave them in the care of anybody. I
Yeah.
can't trust that. So they
I
come with
remember
me.
there was a big NAACP banquet, I think in PA, and everybody. I think we was the only one with our kids there. They was dressed to the nines. They come with me. What you mean? I go to the studio. My kids in the studio. I know there's a men's meetup dinner, and oftentimes my son's with me. Yeah, you sit at the table. We breaking bread. And then if you want me there, this how I'm coming with my kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What would your final message be to our listeners as we wrap up?
Oh man, this has been amazing. I'll share a few thoughts with y'all. Surround yourself with people whose eyes light up when they see you coming. Success is not a destination, but a reflection of discipline, vision, and faith. And the last one I'll leave with you: mastery lives quietly atop a mountain of mistakes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Would like to say a massive thank you, Shaun, for coming on podcast with Sheila today.
No doubt. Thank you.
Great. If you've been listening in, this is season 2, episode 139 of our podcast series, where we bring seasoned guests with inspiring life stories and experiences to share with us. Do not miss out on all these lovely experiences. Subscribe and be notified when a new episode is released. Whilst at it, please remember to drop us a rating. Our prayer for you this week is that you become an advocate and a lover of peace. Until we meet again, have a brilliant day. Bye.